My step wants me to spend time with his daughter and won't listen to my or my mother's refusal. Hi, sorry I don't know how to do this, my first post and stuff. Basically I, 19F, didn't grow up with my mother due to a nasty split between my dad and his family and her. My mom moved to California leaving me and my two younger siblings to stay with my father who had custody over us. When I was 10 we started to talk over the phone, we've been in contact since and some drama has been sorted out. When I was 16 my brother and sister and I temporarily moved to California for a test run to see if my mother could gain custody back. When we moved back we found out our mother was in a relationship with a man named Jay, fake name. Jay had 4 kids, 2 that lived with him and 2 that lived in Washington. They were grown up. Jay's kids Junior was 14 and the time on his daughter Ellie was 16. Ellie and I didn't get along. Jay didn't listen to my mom when she told him we wouldn't get along due to different personalities and likes, so he kept trying to force us to be together and grow a sisterly bond. Ellie also didn't act her age. She liked to hang out with her friends sure, but she still heavily played with dolls and played pretend. She tried to call me her big sister. I am 4 months older, but my mom and I quickly put a stop to it. Nothing against her, but we were different people who liked different things and had no common interests or ground. She was very much an extrovert and I am an introvert. After few months Ellie got vocal with her dislike of me. Because we weren't close I hated her. She called me names, would push me, spit on me, and when we went to school she had her friend pick on me. I tried to tell my mom and Jay. They didn't believe me. They didn't believe me until they saw it themselves. Jay kept saying, it's a phase, they will love one another. I know women in a man. Despite me and my mom telling him to help put and talk to his daughter. This went on for the whole time I was there. He even stormed into my class one day and slapped me, screaming at me in front of the class, and the teacher had to call our parents. It was embarrassing. Shocker. Jay did not believe anyone and said I was the problem and I was mean to her. It took a serious toll on my mental health and I decided, despite the drama with my father's family, I'd move back with them. Fast forward, I decided to move back to California for college. Ellie had moved to Washington to be with her older siblings and go to school out there. After I left, Ellie admitted to everything she had done to me. Very proudly I might add. And Jay was upset but was sure it was because I didn't try hard enough. Because of that we have a very rocky relationship. Last month Junior, my mom, Jay, and I had to go to Washington for one of Jay's kids was getting married. We rent an Airbnb for a week to stay there comfortably instead. Well, it was hell. Essie was back. She excluded me from all family events and started up her old ways again. The day of the wedding she pulled me aside and said, and I quote, "You are horrible. I don't understand why you don't hear it. You're not family. Your mom didn't want you. She wanted US, that's why she raised US. You're clinging to her coattails. Stop calling her mom. She's not your mom, she's ours. Don't come into the church and embarrass yourself. I don't see why you even came. You're a waste of space." And I saw. So I sat in the car THW whole time. When we left I pulled Jay and my mom aside and told them I would never do this again. I don't want to see her. I'm sick of her attitude and Ellie, and I respect that this is their family, but they can absolutely leave me out of the next trip. I'm 19. I can take care of myself for a few days. Surprise. My step wants to do Thanksgiving out in Washington, and doesn't want me alone because you're too young to know how to take care of yourself. And honestly I have no idea what to do, what to talk about or anything, and I just really need advice on where to go from here. I feel like I'm at wit's end. Update. Hey guys, I want to say thanks so much for your advice and tell you guys a bit about what's happening. I texted my mother, let's call her Rose, after a few comments here. So we went on a date today. Just the both of us outside the house away from Jay, and we talked. It was nice. I took a lot of your words to heart and put my foot down. I told her as bluntly as I could that I won't at all be going to Thanksgiving, and honestly, I could care less how she felt about it. That I am an adult and that her and Jay's behavior is disgusting and toxic. I told her that she's not my friend. She's not a stranger, she is my mother. I need her to recognize I'm not Jay's kids and his rules don't do diddly for me. I can respect his house but he cannot boss me around. I told her that I would get my affairs in order and I was gonna move out. The she isn't good for my mental health. Well, she cried. Rose cried quite hard and apologized to me a lot. She recognized some of the things I'm saying and saw where she was wrong, and we talked about a few other problems. Rose said she would get therapy for herself, and then she got me some of my favorite chocolates to thank me for coming to her and talking about it. When we got back to the house after our date, Rose pulled Jay aside and told him point blank I didn't want to go. He couldn't force me to go, and she was putting her foot down. If he didn't stop, she would leave him. If he didn't talk to her daughter, then she would. And frankly, she doesn't want to go either anymore. She said Ellie was a bad person and she was disgusted in herself for choosing Ellie over me, and she would rather spend time with me repairing our relationship than out there because he wants her there. Regardless of how Ellie feels, she's my mother first. She said she felt horrible for losing sight of that, but not anymore. Jay even apologized to me! Rose and I have another date this Wednesday to get our nails done together and start to repair our relationship even more. Before we do therapy together as mother-daughter and therapy for herself. Took the first steps to properly stand up for myself and be an adult, and I've applied for a job. Thank you all again for your kind words, sound advice, and funny comments. It was a mistake sighting in the car. You need to stand up to Ellie. I'm starting to understand that. I don't want to be the problem, you know, but I'm not gonna sit here any longer and let her make me look like a clown. Okay op, I too am a conflict-avoiding introvert. I would save your time and energy standing up to Ellie. She's shown a pattern of playing the victim, and as the reasonable one you're just likely to get painted the bully. Advice: just pretend Ellie is playing the bad guy in a teenage rom-com. You have your very own Regina George. Do you care about her opinion? No, you don't. 19, she can scream at you all she wants, but hitting you? That's assault. Better call the authorities. Want to go to the wedding? Just walk your butt inside and sit down. Is she really going to disrupt a wedding to yell at you? Want to go to Thanksgiving? Just go. If she starts acting like an ass, ignore her. If she gets violent, leave. All that horrible stuff she said about your mom, that's her word vomiting her insecurity. Because guess what? Her mom abandoned her, and yours is her replacement. If you want to go no contact, do it. Just tell your mom you'd like to see her one-on-one and you're no longer going to engage with the other family. Well, I would say stand up to Ellie. She is a bully. She will not stop unless you make her stop. Do that by 1. Ignoring her. She pulls you to talk, just leave literally as she is speaking mid-sentence. She calls you names, just laugh and move on. She hits you, well, hit her back hard. 2. Stay close to your mom. Don't be alone with Ellie and minimize contact. 3. If you have evidence, texts, videos, letters, etc., show it to her siblings and Jay and your mom. 4. Yell at her. See the fear she will have on her face, because bullies never expect to fight back. She will be shocked. 5. Stand up to yourself. You are 19 and the world is not pretty, it's filled with bad. You either fight for yourself or be ready, because the world will show you no mercy. Dad, mom, friends, none of them will babysit you forever. You gotta stand up and defend yourself. Fight for your happiness. Be true to your word. Tell Jay that he must act like a real grown-up dad first and discipline his daughter. Don't let him dictate your choice or life. If you don't go to Thanksgiving, you lose, and Ellie gets exactly what she wanted, so don't do that. Maybe tell your dad about all this. I don't know what type is your dad, so only tell him when you are sure that it won't backfire. One thing is clear: you are young and still has a long way to go. Tomorrow it will be bad BFs, potential rapists, or bad friends, or just jealousy first grader holes, male or female. You are certain to at least meet one in your life, so be strong and be firm in what you want. Look up Grey Rock method regarding Ellie, and then just refuse to go. They can't make you. Any threats from them? Grey Rock method. Any physical attempt? Warn once that you will call the police. I will definitely look up that method. Thank you for the advice, but I'd care about the police. I didn't think it was relevant, but we are all, minus my mom, African American. Ellie is very light while I'm on the darker side. It's one of the reasons I'm very passive with everything she does. Police aren't really an option I'm comfortable with. You are the biological daughter, but Ellie's the daughter that your stepfather and mother raised. It is clear that they believe and will be on her side. Explain that you are not going to your stepfather. Talk to your mother. Have a sincere conversation with her. I don't know what that will do, but I want to see you having an adult conversation with her about how you feel. It might look like petty, but if it were me, I would try to get Elle to send me rude messages. Not necessarily with the intention of sending someone for everyone to see what she looks like, but in case I'm really humiliated, I can do it. My mom and I have talked about this for hours, in the past and now, with and without a therapist and a mediator. Honestly, it's hard. I'm not an aggressive person, like I commented before. I'm pretty passive as well as fear being kicked out. My 30s/M girlfriend, 26/F, talks to herself in a strange way. Is this cause for concern? She does this quite a lot, almost every day. Last night I heard this hushed cat-like hiss, and then she whispered, "No, go to sleep." During the day when I was doing the dishes, she was on the couch and she said, "If you do that, then everyone will despise you." What a dumb idea. Sometimes she almost seems like she's having a dialogue up there, whispering no, and but you must and you know it. Strange shit like that. Sometimes it's downright weird shit like tuna, fish of the sea, and tapioca balls, major balls that she says. I don't think she knows she does this, cause when I ask her if she said anything, she says no. She doesn't have any mental health issues that I know of. She says she was diagnosed with autism as a kid, but I doubt she has that, cause she's pretty normal. She drops a lot of acid if that can cause this behavior. Too long didn't read. Girlfriend talks to herself a lot. It makes me worried. Should I do anything about this? That casual mention of dropping acid Tolamau had me really concerned right to that point. It's the drugs, dude. She should probably take a break from it. Lol, if you started out with my GF drops a lot of acid and talks to herself, I wouldn't have gone through the entire post thinking you were dating Smeagol. It's not the autism, it's the LSD. I hate this, but I have autism and I do weird shit like this compulsively. Especially weird little sayings and telling myself off. I do it internally mostly now that I'm an adult, but it can be hard. Sometimes, if I don't say it aloud, it just repeats over and over, yelling in my head. It could mean that her anxiety is bad and she's not coping at all. Also, drugs can be a big factor. Yeah, acid will fuck with someone's head if done regularly and often. She'd need professional help. Another perspective, there is a chance it could be delayed echolalia, which is a behavior consistent with autism. It's where words and phrases are repeated usually exactly the way they are heard, which could be from conversation, TV, radio, etc. If she doesn't have any other autistic behaviors, it's probably unlikely, but the tuna, fish of the sea line sounds like it from a commercial. My BF won't unload the dishwasher and I think it's the final straw. I cook, clean, and pay for the groceries. His disability pays the mortgage. I don't want to do everything anymore, and his argument is I provide the house. We've already had issues in our relationship and I'm tired of being the only one putting in effort. Relationships are not 50-50, that's divorce. Relationships are 100/100ths, both parties giving their best to relationship, and to each other. Any imbalance will become a sore point very quickly, and will poison the relationship, like it already has with you and your so. Talk to him and explain how you are feeling, and what you need to fix the situation. If he will not change to help you feel better about, and in the relationship, you have a very important decision to make. Can you live with things this way, or is it time to move on?